For those that will watch this interview, what would you say to young girls or mothers of young girls to encourage them to get in touch with Beleve UK, to get some help, assistance, and be empowered and feel confident? What words of encouragement would you give them, and the benefits they would receive, yes, from joining?
So what I would do is use myself as a lived experience.
Yeah.
I would say my confidence came from being a part of a great community, and that community was my family.
Yeah.
I had a great extended family. I understood my place in that family.
Yeah.
And I received love and nurturing from not just my immediate family, but from my extended family.
Yeah.
And that's what Beleve is. It's an extended family. We do not want to be young girls' parents. What we want to be is support parents in supporting their daughters in becoming amazing young women.
Absolutely. Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Sofa. My name is Rachel Onikosi and I am with Marsha Powell of Beleve UK. Hello Marsha, how are you?
Hello Rachel, I'm very well, thank you.
Good to have you here and thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So maybe we just start off by you telling me or telling us who you are and what you do.
So my name is Marsha Powell and I am the CEO of Beleve, which is a girls' charity that's based in Lewisham. It was founded over 9 years ago after the death of my mum. She died really quickly and it really catapulted my life, to be fair. And I think Beleve has been my journey to dealing with my grief, but at the same time making a real difference in young girls' lives. I had a phenomenal mum who enabled me to be very confident and really live out all of my dreams. And I wanted to do that for other young girls. So that's what Beleve does.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry to hear about, obviously, the passing of your mum, but it's really good to see that out of that traumatic experience, you're now making a difference to other people's lives. Tell me, how did you get started then?
I was bold and I gave up my job. Gave up my career, actually, a 15-year career in human resources in a really good organisation. And I just got started. So I got on my dining room table, done my research, knew I wanted to do something around mentoring, and researched the different activities within Lewisham and saw that there was a bit of a gap, and really started having those conversations with the people that mattered. Young girls, firstly, and then my key stakeholders, and just started developing programs. Our first workshop was at Beleve Gateway, which is your constituent, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Beleve Gateway, and it just started from there.
Fantastic. Tell us a little bit about the kind of young girls you work with and the kind of activities and programs that you deliver.
We work with girls from as young as 8 all the way up to 21. We predominantly work with girls who are disaffected. And when I say disaffected, I mean, you know, it could be home life, it could just be disability, it could be lack of access. And our main objective is to support them in raising their confidence and self-esteem, alongside giving them different opportunities and different experiences. My main passion is connecting them to amazing women, because I believe role models really do propel girls in becoming the women they want to become. So we do mentoring, we do workshops, we do career insight days, and we have a leadership board that really run me, tell me what to do. And we have a really important campaign that we have been campaigning for the last 2 years called It Is That Deep, which is a sexual harassment campaign, and it focuses on peer-to-peer sexual harassment, so predominantly sexual harassment in schools, and we deliver workshops about that in order to empower girls in understanding what sexual harassment is, the different forms of sexual harassment, and how they can support each other in dealing with it.
Okay. Just you mentioned something there about empowering young girls and making them feel more confident. In, I don't know, a minute, say, or 2 minutes, I'll be fair, describe how somebody can become, be lack confidence in one place and then become confident through your programs?
Okay, so I've got a really good case study. So there was a young girl who started with us at Beleve Gateway.
Yeah.
Lacked confidence, primarily because she was a larger girl. Also was very unsure in terms of where she wanted to go from a future perspective. When I finished school, what do I want to do? And I think she had a lot of issues around her self-image. The first workshop she came on was around what is beauty. So we really broke down the concept of beauty.
Yeah, of course.
And made her understand that beauty is within, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't need to be validated by others. You need to love yourself first.
Yeah.
In order to radiate your beauty externally. And this young girl stayed with us, kid you not, until she was 23.
Wow.
So she came on our program. She finished school. She started sixth form. Didn't finish sixth form. Came back and said, "I really don't know what to do." There was an opportunity through Well London for us to get an apprentice.
Fantastic.
She became our apprentice.
Brilliant.
She was with us as an apprentice for a year. And then she became one of our lead facilitators because she had obviously developed the confidence. And I think that was really about the mentorship and the nurturing that we gave her.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But also being exposed to different people, but allowing her to be confident in who she was and what she had to offer others.
Absolutely.
She wanted to go to university. When she wanted to go to university, she asked us to support her in doing that. And she went to university.
Brilliant. That's a great case study. You've mentioned something about beauty. And, you know, I think our experiences as being, you know, Black women and knowing the fact that there are a lot of situations where women feel disempowered around beauty. So it's masked by maybe wearing loads of hair extensions, loads of makeup. I mean, here we are today, both have makeup on.
Yeah.
But I know that I don't wear makeup every single day.
Correct.
And I never have.
Yeah.
But I think there is something about makeup becoming the kind of, it's become so normalized that a lot of young women feel that they need to wear makeup to feel attractive, not only to the opposite sex, but also to their own sex. And they wear a lot of the hair extensions and that makes them, and when you take off the hair, when you take off the makeup, that's when they lack confidence. Do you have any examples around that? Or can you tell me your experiences with engaging with young girls when it comes to aesthetics and beauty in that respect?
So I think COVID really highlighted young girls' issues with self. And a good example is Zoom.
Yeah.
So obviously with Zoom, there's a camera. And that means that you see yourself. And a lot of the girls who we've worked with over the last year will come to a workshop. So they want to engage, but they don't want to turn their camera on.
Yeah.
And you ask them, why? And they say, because I don't like how I look. I don't like myself. And it makes you realise that the world that we live in really projects beauty in a way that you have to be perfect.
Yeah.
So girls grow up feeling like they have to be perfect. And I think because of social media, messages of perfection is in your hand every single day. Every single moment that you choose to pick up your phone. And I think girls really grapple with, am I beautiful? Because they see all these images that aren't true, by the way.
They aren't true because obviously people have made themselves up.
Because they're making
to
themselves
appear a certain way.
Exactly.
And there are, I mean, just on that point, there are loads of women now that are doing the before and after shots. They've been quite brave in saying this is what I look like and this is the after shot. So there is kind of exposure to actually she doesn't always look like that. But still, I think the idea that you look absolutely attractive all the time really hits home to young girls than it does with women our age, I would say.
Because I think we fully understand reality.
Yeah.
And we understand that, you know, that lady doesn't look like that every day. It's like Kim Kardashian. She does not look beautiful every day.
Yeah.
But a girl who watches keeping up with the Kardashians or thinking that the Kardashians look hot every day.
Exactly.
No, they
Until
don't.
Kim cries. Nobody sees the ugly face. But yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a really important point. So it's really nice to know that Beleve UK exists and you're out there working with these young people, certainly not just around the beauty, but the self-confidence, the empowerment, the kind of being motivated to aspire to higher heights and really kind of achieve your goals and your vision. And as you know, On the Sofa is about showcasing people do some great stuff. And you're not only doing some great stuff, but you're instilling those values that you have, that you've aspired to into young people. So I think that's fantastic. I do have a question about whether you've partnered with other organisations, and if so, who and why that partnership worked.
Yeah, so firstly, we've partnered with Youth First. They have been quite pivotal in some of our growth. So I'll name out Shalina as like my true guru when it comes to youth work. You know, I don't come from a youth work background. I come from financial services. And she has really supported me in my growth.
Brilliant.
As a CEO of a local charity. So Youth First all the way.
Just quickly, Youth First is who and what?
Okay, Youth First is Lewisham's youth service.
That's right.
And they deliver some amazing projects and initiatives across Lewisham for young people.
And Shalina does what in that organisation?
Shalina is operations director.
Excellent.
And when I met Shalina, she wasn't operations director. She was just heading up Bellingham Gateway. So even her growth has been inspiring to me to see how she's grown in the last 9 years and always supported Beleve in our growth. Excellent. So that's been great. So they've been our main partners within Lewisham.
Fantastic.
But we do lots of partnering. So this week, next week, we are partnering with a beauty brand, NYX, because we do career insight days and we want girls to be exposed to brands that they love.
Brilliant.
So we are partnering with them next week, Thursday, on a career insight day. So girls will get to understand the world of beauty products in the cosmetic world and understand that it's not just about the product, it's also about the infrastructure behind that brand and product that makes it happen. So
good. Sounds really impressive. How are you funded, by the way?
Oh, we are funded in a number of ways. So we are funded by a few trusts and foundations. We do local fundraisers. We also have some sponsorship funding from corporates. And we have a huge mentor population who donate, which is amazing.
Fantastic. I didn't realise there was, you talk donations. How could On the Sofa make a donation to Beleve?
Okay, so we have a website and we do have a donation button on our website. So anyone who
certainly jump on that and make a small contribution, most definitely. Obviously, last 18 months or more has been the pandemic and the difficulties that many organisations have faced during that time. How has it affected Beleve, and did you receive any kind of assistance to continue delivering your programmes? Because I could imagine it was actually important to do so during that difficult period.
The pandemic has actually given Beleve lots of opportunities alongside Black Lives Matter. Obviously, everything that happened with George Floyd last year. We have had amazing conversations with some great corporates who want to make a real difference and not just organisations that want to do lip service. Also within that period, we applied for lots of funding.
And you were successful with those?
Successful.
Fantastic.
With quite a lot of funding.
Good.
Because I think, you know, one, there was a huge need to make sure that there wasn't a big gap with youth provisions. And obviously we had to all pivot in terms of going online. So the face-to-face was non-existent. And we just made sure that we applied in the right places, and we were successful.
Brilliant. I'm really happy to hear that. I don't know if you've mentioned, are you a charity or a community interest company? And if so, I think the question that I want to ask is, you know, are local authorities and government helpful to organisations like Beleve UK at this time, from your opinion? And if not, why not?
Okay, so one, we're a charity, and we became a charity 4 years ago. So we moved from a social enterprise to a charity because we saw the benefits of moving to a charity. In terms of local government, I have not necessarily applied for grants from local government and central government. Because sometimes it can be quite bureaucratic, and also sometimes it can be who you know. However, what I have ensured that we have done as a charity is continue to do the good work. And I think 8 years on, the good work has paid off. So, for example, when we applied for some lottery funding recently and some MOPAC funding recently, the feedback was great, and the sums of monies that we asked for was doubled.
Fantastic. That sounds really good. I won't ask for figures, but I think I know we've had conversations in the past, and those conversations were not so positive around the funding. So it looks like that, you know, the kind of persistence and perseverance that you've ensured for Beleve has resulted in being recognised as a really good charity, making a difference to young girls' lives. So that's fantastic. Another question I have is around, for those that will watch this interview, what would you say to young girls or mothers of young girls to encourage them to get in touch with Beleve UK, to get some help, assistance, and be empowered and feel confident? What words of encouragement would you give them, and the benefits they would receive, from joining?
So what I would do is use myself as a lived experience. I would say my confidence came from being a part of a great community, and that community was my family. I had a great extended family. I understood my place in that family. And I received love and nurturing from not just my immediate family, but from my extended family. And that's what Beleve is. It's an extended family. We do not want to be young girls' parents. What we want to be is support parents in supporting their daughters in becoming amazing young women.
Absolutely.
And I believe that it takes a village to raise a child. And when I speak about the girls in Beleve, I talk about our girls, because I take responsibility and ownership over the girls that come into our community, because I want them to be as successful as my own daughter.
Absolutely.
So I have a daughter who is 20 and I am proud of her. And I'm also proud of the girls who have come through Beleve and achieved great things. So my thing would be, parents, we all need support. We all need help. And what your daughter will receive being a part of Beleve is amazing. It's like magic, if I be honest. Because the capabilities that we focus on, confidence, self-esteem, understanding your power, your superpowers, is really, really important in the foundations of developing a young girl.
Absolutely.
In this world.
Absolutely.
You know, where they have so many different messages that cause them to sometimes have imposter syndrome. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. And we want to let every young girl know, 1, you are beautiful. 2, you are good enough. 3, you are absolutely worthy. And you can achieve absolutely anything you put your mind to. With support.
Yes, of course.
And that's the bit.
That's brilliant. Thank you. I'm sure that's going to be received very well. I'm going to ask a question about young boys now, because we know that there is a big pandemic of young boys running around, engaging in, violence, youth violence, knife crime, etc. So my question to you is, do you or have you collaborated with organisations that work with young boys to help tackle some of the issues that we see on our streets?
So the answer is yes. And there are times that we will engage programmes that incorporate and include young boys if it's needed. So for example, the sexual harassment campaign, we cannot do that campaign without engaging young boys. It's not a polarized issue. It's an issue about women and men. Yeah. So therefore, we need to make sure that we have them in the conversation. That's first thing. And for me, it's about always ensuring that we are open to being a part of conversations that impact the wider community, i.e. boys and girls. I have a son, so I fully understand the importance of ensuring that there are good preventative measures put in place. Our vision or our strategy was to double up. So this year we want to impact over 2,000 girls.
Brilliant.
And in doing so, we want to ensure that we increase the number of corporates that we work with, increase the number of girls that we bring through our mentoring program, because I am an advocate for mentoring. I believe every girl needs a mentor. And our strategy is around ensuring that there is more inclusivity and that girls gain more opportunities, and most importantly, the leadership skills that they need to be the leaders of the world.
How do you go about kind of engaging with corporates to ensure they understand the importance of engaging with you as Beleve, and the importance of ensuring that they become the role models for the girls and maybe some work experience and that sort of stuff? How do you go about that?
So the brilliance is when you have mentors work in corporate organisations, and when you as an organisation have a good impact on those mentors, then they become advocates.
Brilliant.
So therefore, a lot of the corporates are organisations that our mentors work in. And what we then try to do is develop mentoring programs within those corporate organisations. And that means that there's a true advocate ambassador within that organisation, ensuring that we have the right people come forward.
Yes, okay. Yeah. I was going to ask about referrals. So presumably I can imagine somebody can jump on your website and refer themselves, self-referral, but are there other kind of mechanisms where people can be referred from other organisations? And if so, tell me more about that.
Yep, so we do have an application process on our
application
website.
Process?
Yes, application, because again, for me, it's important. If we are connecting young girls to young women, we have to be going through a rigorous process to make sure it's the right individual being matched with young people, because we still have a duty of care.
Absolutely, yes.
And a safeguarding and duty of care to young people.
I beg your pardon, I thought application for the young girls, that's something separate.
So both. So mentees have to apply to be on our programme, and it's more about ensuring that they are ready, because it's 6 to 12 months. And also, we want to get to know who they are before we match them with a mentor. So yes, we have an application process on our website. But what we tend to do when we partner with corporates, they actually manage the application process, and to make it easier and less bureaucratic for their staff. And then we make sure that the whole flow of the programme happens.
Fantastic. I didn't ask about the demographics of the, well, I did, I think you mentioned age, but in terms of maybe racial background, is it a diverse racial background?
So it is diverse, but I would say 80% of the girls do come from a Black ethnic minority.
It's not deliberate or contrived.
It's how it's happened. But again, I'll be really honest, if I'm helping people, I want to help my people. And when we talk about disaffected, in Lewisham, the children who are predominantly disaffected are children from Black ethnic minority backgrounds.
So you're pretty much saying the most disadvantaged. Absolutely. What 3 words of inspiration would you give them to ensure that they not only set goals but achieve those goals and continue to grow, if that's their intention? What kind of 3 words of inspiration?
Sentences: believe in yourself first. Just do it. And it's okay to ask for help.
Okay. So believe in yourself, just do it, and it's okay to ask for help. But these are the 3 words of aspiration or sentences coming from Marsha Powell. Thank you. I think that's really fantastic. Is there anything that you would like on the sofa to help with through your journeys? I know you're obviously at a great place, but you know, it'll be nice to see what collaboration we could do with you around some of the work that you deliver and the program you deliver. Yeah. So let's keep on talking.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming. We haven't quite ended yet. We do have a personality test to give you. So let me just grab those questions. And actually, I do want to ask you another question before I go into that. It's really about I know that you're a CEO of Beleve UK, we know that, but I know you're also somebody who has kind of high heights and a great vision out there. So what's coming next for you professionally?
Okay, so a lot of people don't know, I also run a surveying practice in Lewisham. So we set that up 2 years ago, and we have over 30 staff at the moment. So it's a growing surveying practice. Surveying.
Yeah.
Surveying.
Yeah.
Residential surveying. So yeah, I do that as well as run Beleve. So very busy and sometimes very tired with two young
adults.
People.
Well, good for you. I'd love to hear more about the surveying, but we'll leave that for another day. So now, personality questions, 2 scenario based and some preferences here. So you found yourself in financial difficulty. You see somebody drop a bundle of money, about 4 to 5 grand. But by the time you look up, they've disappeared. Do you give the money to the local police force, leave the money with a nearby shop as a person may return to collect the money, keep it as it's a gift from the universe to you, or share it between some youths hanging around the shops?
I would keep it because it's definitely a gift from the universe. But what I would then do is I would spend it on the girls within Beleve.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. Well, accept that. The next scenario based is you're late for a client work meeting, and you know it would not look good if you arrive 30 minutes late, as you know you're a professional. Do you miss the meeting saying that you're sick, casually walk in like you're early, and being a bit cheeky there, attend the meeting but orchestrate an exaggerated limp in your leg, make a big excuse about a road traffic accident on the way to the meeting?
What I would do is I would send an email and I would say, really sorry, I've had an incident and I'm not going to be able to make it. Okay. That's what I'd do. I wouldn't do any of those ones.
Okay, yeah. Okay. That's dishonest though, isn't it?
No, because I am late.
Yes.
And there has been an incident. I haven't said what it was.
Yes.
The fact that I'm late, something must have happened.
Okay, I'll let you off there. Last set now, shower or bath?
I'm a shower girl.
Cinema or Netflix?
Definitely Netflix.
Yeah. Uber or black cab?
Uber.
Boris Johnson or Keir Starmer?
Neither.
Gym or jog?
If I had to do one, a slow jog.
Okay. In terms of popcorn, sugar or salt?
Sugar.
Do you prefer to read or listen to music?
Ooh. Listen to music.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, that's the end of the personality questions, and I can say you have passed. Not 100%, but about 85%. But thank you so much for coming. It's been really good, really informative about what you do. And let's keep talking.
Thank you.
And like I said, you know, in terms of what OntheSofa's about, in terms of us wanting to not only showcase people doing some great work, but where we can make a difference to the program that they deliver, we would want to be try and do something around that. So Amazing. Let's keep talking. Thanks for coming. You're welcome.
You so much.